What is going on, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing another Fallout 76 related video. This time actually talking about, is Fallout 76's nuclear winter game mode dead, or is it still alive, and will Bethesda be updating it anytime soon, and will it kind of be getting updated with Wastelanders and some future Wastelanders updates coming here and there? All those questions will be all answered in this video. So to start off with, pretty much the obvious one, is Fallout 76's nuclear winter game mode dead? Well, in my opinion, I would probably have to say it's obviously not dead. It does get its fair share of players, but to hop into my first game in, for the gameplay footage that you're looking at right now, that I pretty much, recorded a little bit ago, pretty much, it took me about 10 minutes or so to hop into a game, which is pretty disturbing, to be honest. And when I got into that game, there was only 36 people loaded in, so that is pretty bad. I mean, I would imagine those 30 people were probably from the next game and then, hopped on to play this game. And yeah, obviously, I'm pretty sure I'm on Australia servers. I think that's what they are, at least, obviously. So yeah, again, it may differ depending on what country or servers you are playing in and all of that type of stuff. But yeah, for Australian, or I would imagine they'd be Oceania, which, Australia, New Zealand, etc., I would imagine that would be pretty much it. Getting 30-something people in a lobby after waiting for 10 minutes is literally unacceptable, pretty much, and it just shows that there aren't exactly too many players playing Nuclear Winter. Now, obviously, more players were probably playing with Nuclear Winter before the big Fallout 76's Wastelanders update, and the fact that Wastelanders didn't really do anything to improve Nuclear Winter, like we were kind of expecting to have human NPCs roam around and all that type of stuff. Again, I will get into more of that later. Kind of is like a reason for people to go, well, why would I play Nuclear Winter? There's nothing new in it, all of that type of stuff. There's literally like no point, so everyone's just pretty much checking out Wastelanders, seeing what's going on with that, and pretty much just playing Fallout 76, the main world, rather than Nuclear Winter. So again, that's pretty much what's going on with there. Now, again, it's not necessarily dead, but it's getting to the point where, yeah, you're gonna have to start waiting. Again, this is only my personal experience from Oceania, and I did this, relatively later at night. Well, not too late, obviously. It was like 7 o'clock or something like that, so people were pretty much, most people were done with dinner or done from work and all that type of stuff, and can play some Fallout 76, I guess. And again, there weren't exactly too many people on there, which was pretty concerning. And yeah, again, it's not exactly dead, but it is pretty much going into that direction. Now, obviously, will it be getting some updates after Wastelanders and all that type of stuff? And again, it has its fair share of players. Like, yes, I didn't get too many players in, but there are still a lot of players around the world that are playing Nuclear Winter and all that type of stuff. So Bethesda know this. Bethesda know it was really successful when it first launched. I think they need to have like a total overhaul of the mode. Currently, it's in beta right now, and it's been in beta ever since it's been released, obviously, and since releasing it, they've done a couple of updates here and there, and have added a new map. That's all they've done. Those updates pretty much fixed glitches and did some quality of life improvements. For example, adding colors on the rarity of weapons and all of that type of stuff, and aid equipment, or again, all of that type of stuff. It's quality and life improvements and a new map. That's really all they've added in pretty much nearly a year. So that's again another reason why it's been sort of on the decrease. I think what Bethesda need to do is kind of take a page out of Fortnite's book. And yes, I never thought I'd be saying that, but what I think they need to do is kind of take a page out of the Fortnite book, or even Warzone, which is currently really successful right now. Obviously, everyone's out here playing Fallout 76 Wastelanders. It's doing really good, but eventually it's going to slow down, and currently they have a lot of time right now to work on some spare stuff, and I'm pretty sure the main studio that was working on Nuclear Winter wasn't actually the studio that was working on Wastelanders, and I still don't know if they were working on Nuclear Winter, but I would imagine in like nearly the year, surely they'd have some stuff right now, and surely some of the new the Wastelanders stuff would be getting incorporated into Nuclear Winter. Considering Bethesda plan to do these smaller patches by adding quests and all that type of stuff to Fallout 76 and adding pets, etc., I wouldn't be surprised if we start seeing that get added into Nuclear Winter. For example, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we actually eventually started seeing a bunch of human NPCs start to roam around Nuclear Winter as, you know, enemies. For example, raiders or some of the cults that are in the game, cult slash gangs and factions, all that type of stuff. I wouldn't be surprised at all if Bethesda decided to add that to kind of spark it all up, which again is a pretty simple thing to add. It shouldn't exactly take them too much to add that into the game at all. Another thing that, you know, considering that all of these people will be getting, you know, NPCs most likely will be getting added in, I wouldn't be surprised if we started seeing some more diversity and all that type of stuff on enemies that we do run into. Again, as I was talking about, human NPCs such as cults, gangs, etc. But if they were adding pets and all that type of stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe some of that dynamic gets added into Wasteland, not Wasteland, sorry, Nuclear Winter. For example, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe there was a thing where, you know, raiders or the cults and that were roaming around with pets and all that type of stuff, and the pets started to attack you. Mostly that would obviously be dogs, and yeah, I wouldn't be, you know, I don't think this would ever get added into the game, but it'd be pretty interesting if maybe you could even have a dog as a companion. Obviously that would be kind of interesting. The dog would give you extra storage and all of that type of stuff, but you could say that would kind of make it overpowered for people that do find the dogs. But again, that could just be a thing. It's like, you know, finding a supply crate. When you find a supply crate, you get some stuff in it, but maybe you can go find a dog or something like that. And you don't ever see battle royales do this, and I think it could be a different component that Bethesda could add into Nuclear Winter. Now, whether or not that's a good idea or not, again, I definitely would like to hear your thoughts and opinions on that. I'd probably say no. I just would like human NPCs and stuff to get in, and maybe a couple of dogs go with some of the human NPCs that are enemies. Again, I'm not exactly too sure. But another thing they could potentially add is maybe whatever faction you have, you know, gone with in Fallout 76 and Wastelanders. For example, maybe there could be a bunch of settlers and raiders roaming around the map. It would be kind of interesting, and I don't really like this idea, but it's just an option that could happen. Maybe if you had a better, you know, connection and relationship with the raiders, maybe if you started seeing some people that had sided with the settlers, maybe some of those raiders could attack those people who have decided with the settlers, and obviously vice versa. That would be a kind of really interesting thing to make the reputation system come into. Obviously, it'd be very unique. I don't think that would happen. That would be a little bit dodgy. And yeah, again, if one faction had a lot more than what the others, for example, there may be a lot more people who join the raider faction than the settler faction, then that would be a little bit dodge, and I think would be unfair. So I definitely hope that probably doesn't get added, but again, would be pretty interesting to see if it did, but could probably be overpowered to the, you know, uneven and unfair faction. But again, another thing I do expect to see is, yes, obviously a lot of human NPCs and all that type of stuff, but we gotta get a new map eventually. Like, surely it shouldn't be that hard to take a certain part of the Fallout 76 original Appalachia map and turn it into a battle royale map. I mean, they've done this with 2 of the maps so far in Nuclear Winter. I don't exactly think it would be that hard, and yeah, obviously, again, I don't exactly expect to see too many Nuclear Winter updates, but I think it would be really cool if maybe they just reboot the whole thing, got it out of beta, maybe release like a Season 2 type of thing, and, you know, just started releasing a lot of things, such as human NPCs and all of that type of stuff, maybe even some, you know, dogs that would be in Nuclear Winter, etc. I think that would be extremely interesting, and yeah, obviously a new map would be very cool, and maybe some quality of life improvements here and there as well, because yeah, it's getting kind of stale at the moment. I played a Nuclear Winter game, and yeah, it was a little bit, I don't know, I'm not too much of a fan of Nuclear Winter. I know a lot of Fallout players aren't, but again, there are a lot of players that actually do like the Nuclear Winter, and if they kind of got the Nuclear Winter mode up and going again and did updates every second week, for example, in 2 weeks they release all the human NPCs, and then 2 weeks after that they release maybe some sort of pet thing or maybe a reputation thing or something like that, and then in a month or 2 maybe they release the new map. Again, I think it would be really cool, and it shouldn't exactly take Bethesda too much time to add any of this stuff at all. I mean, it shouldn't be that big of time consuming to add human NPCs and that, which is already in the vanilla game, and potentially, you know, a section of the map, which again is also in the vanilla game, and then putting it into Nuclear Winter. Again, in my idea and my head, I don't think that would exactly be too hard, but again, Bethesda have a lot of different things they're working on. For example, a lot more vanilla Fallout type of stuff, like the main world type of Fallout content, which I'm obviously all for, again, because I don't really play the Nuclear Winter. But again, I'd definitely really like to hear your thoughts and opinions on this all down below. What do you guys think Bethesda need to do to kind of update Nuclear Winter and all that type of stuff and change it? What would you guys like to see them added? Also, is Nuclear Winter dead, or is it still alive, and do you guys still play it? Again, I definitely would really like to hear all your thoughts and opinions on it all down below, but also don't forget to subscribe to the channel for the latest Fallout content if you haven't already. And yeah, definitely go check out my podcast and follow me on Instagram. Go check out my other channels, my sports channel and my IRL/vlog channel. Again, links for them will all be in the description down below, so definitely go check them out. But as I was saying, thank you guys for watching. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe and comment, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.